Welcome to Future Hood Movie Gems. I am Jordan. Proof B if need be. Proof... huh? And I've got my co-host, Nick.
Who doesn't bring a gun to the final shootout? And then there's another quote, who brings a flare gun to a final shootout? And that was after he realized the dude had a flare gun.
Yeah, a freaking flare gun? And then he finally,
Let's just get right into this, because I have to say, I've seen this movie a while ago, so I loved it then. But then I forgot about it, because that's just how things are. I forget about stuff, but it's all good.
Yeah.
And then I watched it again. And yesterday I watched it. I had it playing on yesterday, but I was kind of like doing other stuff too, so I was just kind of catching pieces of it. But then today I came right home from work, popped it on, watched it, and just loved it. I realized that I loved this movie. I love the beginning of it. The very first 3 minutes in, when those two guys are talking. And it's just awesome.
I stabbed a guy right in his ear.
That's a different
and
topic.
That's a different topic.
That's ears.
That's ears.
And they're just going back and forth, and the dude just comes up and, pop, And that one guy, what's his name? You have to look it up, because I can't look it up. But he's in that, I remember him, he was in that movie Murder by Numbers. And he was in a lot of movies, but that's the one I remember him as. It was the guy on the right side.
Oh, yeah.
Such a good movie. He was really young then. He was like Psycho there.
Yeah, he's also in... Have you seen Funny Games?
I don't think so.
Oh, he's also in that. Yeah.
I just love all the people they incorporated in this movie.
I love... Colin Farrell was great.
Woody Harrelson,
so funny. Oh my gosh. His dog,
he was just crazy. He was kind of like one of those kind of like lighthearted bad guys in a way, kind of like comical. And I love to see Precious. I'm so happy she was in this. Precious. I don't remember what her real name is. When she's sitting there all tied up and she's crying and stuff, and if he just ran away, why do we have to take 12 hours to find your fat butt? Whatever he says. She's like, because you're an angry person and this and that. You wouldn't believe me, and you would have tied me up and shot me.
He's like, that's probably right.
But I'm happy he let her live.
Yep. Oh, there's so many good quotes in this movie. The dialogue is amazing. Nick, I don't know if you remember watching Three Billboards Outside of Ebbing, Missouri. Oh my gosh, I can't say it.
Three Billboards.
Outside Ebbing, Missouri.
Is that
Do you
remember documentary?
That one? Nope. We watched it and enjoyed it, and it was also directed by Martin McDonagh, or McDonagh. I'm sorry if I pronounced your name wrong, but he's made In Bruges, Seven Psychopaths, and Three Billboards. I wonder if he's coming out with anything new, because I love his writing. Yeah, he hasn't made a movie in a while.
Was this one of his?
Since 2017.
Oh,
yeah. So he's
been chilling.
Yeah, he's got one in the works. It says it's coming out in October of this year. I hope so. The Banshees of Inisherin. I'm butchering this. I was just going to stop talking. But going back to this movie, I love all three of his films. The first time I saw Seven Psychopaths, I rented it from Redbox, and I was doing summer sales, and I just got home that night and rented it from Redbox, and I put it in my little DVD player and watched it on my laptop, and I thought this was like the greatest movie ever. And just because the first time there's so many amazing twists. Like when the guy takes a razor and cuts his own throat to meet the other guy in hell.
So good.
It's amazing.
It is amazing.
It just doesn't get better than that. And so when I first saw that for the first time, and then the next reveal when he takes off his
cravat.
Pronounced cravat. Cravat. And so as he's taking it off, and then the guy sees the cut on his neck, you're like, oh my gosh, he's the guy from the story.
Yeah.
And then it just to add to that, the other guy's telling the story to the person it happened to. It's so good.
It is good. The whole thing is good. All the characters were good. It was funny. I mean, especially that one guy. What's his name?
What the
psychopath number 1 and psychopath number 6.
Yeah. Because he's 1 and 2. His name is Sam Rockwell.
He's hilarious. He was so good in this movie. Just excellent.
Yeah. I love when he's talking about his girlfriend. Yeah, your girlfriend's got being a freaking bee problem. And then he's like, do you know what you called her? And he's like, you called her a bee in front of all her friends. And he's like, I would never do that. Not to her face.
Dude, I love the part when he's with Woody Harrelson's girlfriend, and he's like, I trust you. And he's like, me? You're the one that's still, hanging out with that gangster guy. What about
And then she's all upset, and he's like, I wasn't saying...
I meant like or something. And then she walks away, and he comes back downstairs with a bag of chicks. He's like, babe, I meant or something.
Yeah, he definitely stole the show. I mean, there were so many times when he was in the car. I love when they're discussing. He wants so badly to be a part of his screenwrite.
Yeah.
And so he's in the car, like, pitching him ideas. And then he's like, I just don't want to have any violence. He's like, no violence. And then,
it's like the stupidest movie I ever heard.
And then he's like, why don't you just call it The Seven Lesbians? And they just try to get through, like, their hardships together. And they're
just nice to everyone. And it's just great.
So good. And
when he holds the other part when he's holding the flare gun up to the dog. And then Woody Harrelson, when he's counting down and he can't freaking get his gun because his gun keeps jamming up. He's like, he's counting down, he gets to like 3, and Woody Harrelson looks over with like this such innocent face. He's like, could you start back at 5? He's like, no, I'm not starting back at 5. And he just like stares at him and sees his face. He's like, okay, I'll start back at 5. And starts counting down and finally gets the gun and just pop. And the dog doesn't even come to him in the end. And then he just gets arrested. And it just sucks everybody died.
Yeah. I was so nervous rewatching this because when I watched it with Cameron and Grant, they weren't really digging it. And I'm just like, how can you not love this movie? I think it's so well written.
It's amazing.
Yeah. And I do quote with Cameron and Grant all the time the part when he's like, when she walks in, he is Vietnamese. And she's like, what you speaking, baby? Chinese? He's like, Vietnamese.
Yes.
I love that line.
It was a good movie.
Yeah, I highly recommend this. I think In Bruges personally is my favorite of his 3 films. If you haven't seen it, Nick,
I haven't seen those, but this is pretty good.
You've definitely seen 3 Billboards outside of Ebbing, Missouri.
Maybe I know we did, and maybe I'm thinking it was a documentary, but it wasn't. Was it based off? Because I feel like I watched the movie, and I'm pretty sure I watched like a documentary that was like the exact same thing.
Probably. I mean, it would not surprise me. I think it might be based off a true story, but it was written more as a dark comedy. Yeah, because that's his movies. He just writes them very humorous. Like he just makes very lighthearted of like very dark, serious topics, which I enjoy immensely.
So you'll have to text me what his other movie is. I'm interested to watch it.
Yeah, definitely check it out. In Bruges, I highly recommend that one. I think we might have tried watching it.
Oh, we tried and I didn't like it. It was probably crap.
No, it's good, Nick. It's so good. You would like it a lot. I think. I don't know. But
well, like 7 Psychopaths. But that's me. That's my kind of humor and my kind of, this is good. And it's just like a perfect mix of everything. It wasn't one or the other, really. You couldn't say it was a completely comedy because there was like some, cut the throats. They show that. I mean, there was some brutal stuff in there, So it just kind of mixed a whole bunch of stuff together. And
well, back when I used to edit movies, I showed that scene to my brother-in-law, and I'm like, do you think I should cut the scene out? And I showed him slicing his throat. And he's like, yeah, maybe you should cut that.
Cut it for what?
Well, I was editing it, so I would edit out all the, like, really nasty stuff.
What? For what?
So that other people could watch it. Because I, love this movie so much, and I want to show it to people.
Who could watch it?
Like, people from my family, because they're more sensitive to certain things.
To use that Bit Angel crap to do it?
No, well, I did it myself. Before Bit Angel was the thing, I was editing it myself.
When did this movie come out?
2017.
Bit Angel's definitely been around before 2017.
Oh, no, sorry. 2017 is 3 Billboards.
Oh, I'll just say, man, because I'm pretty sure, like, you guys were talking about Ben Angel back in high school.
No. There was different things we used. Like, we had TV Guardian. There was Clear Play. We've just used different...
Oh, maybe Clear Play was...
Oh, 2012. Sorry. So this
2012.
Yeah, I think came out before.
All right. Well, you shouldn't have cut any of the scenes out. What'd you all cut out?
Okay, well, all right. Well, there was one joke at the end I did cut and I thought would have been a better joke is when the guy, remember at the very end after the credits, did you sit through that little after scene in between credits? When the guy, because he said, make sure you put my name in the credits saying that I'm sorry, because the serial killer that killed serial killers, but then he left his wife because he thought she was, going a little too hardcore. Uh-huh. And then at the very end, he calls him up and says, you bet your life. I mean, you bet your life that you would
promise
put her
on your
name.
life, yeah.
Yeah, promise on your life. And then I cut it right when he's like, oh, shoot. And then I cut it. Because then they keep talking and he's like, you sound different. And I don't know. I just feel like it would have been a better
that's
joke.
at the end of the credits. Like, so after the credits? Or
Yeah. Like, not after all the credits, but in between. Like, you watch a little bit of credits, then that scene pops up.
Maybe yesterday. No, I didn't see it. Dang it. I usually, dude, as soon as the credits come on, I hit that back button and I'm on to something else. Unless I fell asleep, that's the only reason I would let the credits roll if I passed out while watching it. And I'm going to miss it anyway.
Yeah.
No, oh man. And I was just going to mention him too in the movie. I love that guy with his bunny. Stop.
Yes.
They just mix all this stuff together. He's just got this bunny and I liked him. He was fun.
He even mentions that. He's like, what, you didn't take me seriously?
Did he number him as one of the psychopaths?
I think so. Like, the thing didn't pop up and you didn't hear the typewriter, but it skipped him, and I think he was one of them, yes.
Oh.
Yeah. But I wanted to say, too, this film wrapped up perfectly the Vietnamese psychopath. The fact that he's like, they're like, what's that smell? And he's like, I smell gasoline. And then all of a sudden he like wakes up and it's a dream sequence and he's lights himself on fire. Amazing.
Yeah.
I loved it. I thought that was such a great twist. I thought the jokes were amazing. All the actors were at the top of their game. Like, even the people that just make very short cameo, like at the beginning, the guy from A Serious Man and the other guy from Funny Games. So funny.
I forgot Precious.
Oh, that's right.
I love Precious.
I love her.
I love her. Dude, she's the best, man.
Like, she played her part well.
She did play. I was like, Precious. I don't even know what her real name is, but I see her in some movies sometimes, and every time I see her, I'm just like, yes, she's made it. I know this is gonna be awesome. This is gonna be awesome, right? This scene, whatever scene she comes into, is gonna be good.
Oh, and I also love when he's talking about the end shootout. No shootout. I just love that whole sequence, and then he's like. And then they're talking about it afterwards. Can a man's head really explode from a shotgun? He's like, sure it can, if his head's made of explosives. Amazing. This movie's great.
It is great. It's got high reviews too, everybody. 7.1 IMDb. Well, I think it should have got a little better than that, but Rotten Tomatoes gives it 83, so that's good. It's a fresh tomato.
7. Let me see what his other films got. 3 Billboards got 8.1, Nick.
IMDb.
And In Bruges got 7.9. So this is his lowest rated film.
Wow.
Yeah, like I said, for some reason it's not like... The reason I'm reviewing it with you, Nick, is because Ty and Cameron both said like this is not their favorite of his films, which is crazy. It's so good.
It is
like
good.
I would agree.
I haven't seen the other films. That's why you asked me to come on. And you know I don't watch that many. The only movies I watch are like the ones for like the podcast. Otherwise, like if I'm here, I'm not really here all that much. But when I am here, I just have movies in the background. I ain't paying attention. So I actually have to watch the movie. And sometimes you surprise me with one that I see and that I actually like. I'm like, oh, he's in a funny piece of movie I like. No, the other crap we started off with.
They were all good. Oh my gosh, get out of here. They were all good.
Those first 3 were... Guys, I mention this in every podcast. This is because those movies sucked so bad.
You're trying to warn people.
I don't... Why? I'm just a guinea pig in Jordan's little world, man. Nick will do it because he didn't know what the heck anyway. He's not going to look into the movie. He's just going to press play and do it. And you're right. That's what I do. I don't look into the movie. I don't know anything about it. I don't have any opinion about anything. You could tell me who made it. I don't know. I don't care. I'm going to press play.
Well, and I can't convince Cameron and Ty to watch them, so I got to get somebody to watch them with me. It's amazing.
Maybe I should start. Actually, you know what? After those other ones, I did start looking into the movies that you recommended. And I was like, oh. But I shouldn't do it. I should just let the crappy movies play, because that way I won't know, and it will take me at least 5 minutes to realize that you've just put me through.
Yes. Nick, do you recommend it?
Yes.
I recommend it if you like dark comedies. And
I recommend it if you like anything.
Nick, what have you seen lately, and what are you looking forward to?
I don't really see anything lately. I was watching that show, Kings of Pain. You guys ever seen that? That's really fun. You should check that out. They have the new season, but they're only releasing 1 episode a week. But it's just these 2 guys that are trying to like rewrite this book that was made back in the 70s. And there's some people that do it on like YouTube and stuff, but like nobody as legit as this. And they just go and they get bitten by like the worst of the worst type of like animals and bugs and stuff. Well, nothing that should like kill them, but like ones that cause a lot of like pain and stuff. So like certain spiders, certain fish, certain lizards, certain scorpions and all those. And then they both get stung by them or bit by them or whatever. And then they grade the pain on a 30-point scale. But there was a guy that did it back. Yeah, it's crazy. You gotta watch it. Oh my gosh, it's crazy. Like just the suspension, and they kind of give you a little bit of play, and then they have this huge scale. So they did a whole first season already, and then they're just building up this new scale. So they're just gonna keep going. They keep getting crazier and crazier. And one of theirs almost got to like a 30. It was terrible, and it's crazy. But there was this guy that did it back in like I think the late 70s, and he did it I think mainly for like ants and stuff, or he did I think some other bugs, but his was only a 1 to 4 scale. So they're kind of going off that scale, adding new animals and bugs and crap into it, and they're gonna build this new master scale. But it's insane, dude. I'm like, you cringe. Like, what do you? It's one of those shows I can't take my eyes off, because if you take your eyes off for 1 second, you're gonna miss the whole thing. And they show close up like the thing biting you, or like the scorpion stinging, and it gets so close up that you could hear it puncture the skin. I'm like, oh, what? And they're like,
did you see Jack Forever when that spider bit the guy, and I think in slow motion?
No.
That was horrifying.
Yeah, you would like this then.
No, I wouldn't. I did not. This. That was the worst part. I was like gripping my seat so tight, and I was like, yeah. I can't look away because of how disturbing it is.
That's how every episode is.
Well, after doing summer sales and doing pest control, I still have nightmares, and I wake up sometimes in my bed hoping that I don't have a brown recluse in my bed.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Like that one guy we worked with, he showed us his back, and there was like a giant scar from that brown recluse. Where
we had brown recluses when I was in Georgia. But remember? Oh, I wasn't out with you that time with the woman that had all the black widows in her cupboard in her garage. No. And guys, this is funny. This is the best story, because we got to the appointment, and we're going in there, and she's like, there's like spiders in this cabinet. This cabinet's been here for like 30 years or something. And I'm like, oh, all right, let's take a peek. You know what I mean? And she opens the cabinet, and black widows in there. I'm like, oh, those are black widows. And she screams, and she runs to her house, in through the garage door, and then I hear her lock the door. I'm like, okay, well, that's going to make a difference. Like, why are you locking it? But yeah, and I'm like, gosh. I like shoot him back in there, man, and I started pumping that stuff in there. I'm like, I pumped like probably half a container of that crap in there, and then I like put a band around it, and I'm like, don't open that thing for a while. Eventually the dust will just kill those black widows, and you guys will be good. But the weirdest one, dude, were you on me with this trip? When a snake got stuck in like a piece of fencing or something that they had like laying around. You weren't with me on that one. That one was that one still kind of gives me nightmares. And when the guy I was with, when he pulled the piece of fencing off, it was a really big snake, and it wasn't one snake, it was 2 snakes, and the other snake was eating the dead snake that was tangled in the freaking the fencing or whatever, the little wire chicken coop fencing, whatever, and it was eating it, and it was like halfway up on it. I'm like, what the jack? I'm like, oh, that's crazy. Just something about just like cannibalism and snakes eating each other. That was a lot. I've seen a snake eat a mouse. We've all been in science class, watch a snake. But this was a whole level of like up.
Wow.
That was a fun job, though. We got to see some stuff, man. That was fun.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, some of it.
All of it.
I mean, I do remember loving playing endless Call of Duty games, Call of Duty Zombies with you. That was fun.
And you missed it. You weren't there that day, but you missed when those girls were okay, that's not a story for the pod. Another day.
No, you already told that story on the pod.
Did I? Edited it out. You did watch it out? That was the best story, man.
No, not again.
I'm very proud of that story. I tell a lot of people that story, too.
I'm sure you do.
I do.
And then, let's see, I started Miami Vice. I love it so much. I bought a t-shirt.
Is that a TV show?
Amazing. Yeah, it's old school.
Oh, Miami Vice. Okay, yeah. Duh.
Yeah.
I thought maybe they did like a reboot of it or something.
Oh, no, they have actually done Tokyo Vice. It's just come out on HBO, I think. And I'm excited to check that out. That was also produced. I mean, wasn't Miami Vice back in the like 80s? Yeah, but the same guy that produced that show went on to direct this new show. So Michael Mann, I'm excited.
Interesting.
He's done a lot of gangster stuff. Really good. Well, I mean, he did like Heat and what's the one we're talking about doing with, what's the guy that's on trial right now? I can't remember his name.
Who?
Or not on trial. He went to court with his wife or ex.
Yeah.
Johnny Depp.
Yeah.
Anyways, so Johnny Depp in Public Enemies. Gosh dang, I can't remember the name.
Well, the trial's over. He won. He won $10 million.
That's right. But she won like 3, didn't she?
She won $2 million, so she still owes him $8. And she doesn't have $8 million, apparently, from what I've been hearing. Or they said that she might just have $8 million.
Well, isn't she just gonna make another superhero movie and then pay him off?
No. This screwed her.
Oh,
and
really?
She didn't make that much, man. She didn't make that much money either, dude. Like even in Aquaman and stuff. Like
really?
Oh yeah, I think her payday was like a few mil in that, whereas like Jason Momoa's was like $30 million.
Wow.
So she got paid like 15 times less than he did.
I'm surprised because usually what I've noticed a lot of movies do is they'll pay one of the girls from the cast like more than the guys just so they can say that, because they're trying to like get women more pay. And I've noticed on some movies, like, have you seen Triple Frontier with like Ben Affleck?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, they actually paid that girl that made like that short little scene. They paid her more than all the other actors just so they could have like a woman actress paid more than men. And all she had to do was show up for like a couple minutes, and she got paid more than they did. So I'm just surprised they didn't do that, especially being a DC big Hollywood movie.
They must not like her.
Maybe.
And a lot of people thought she was lying and faking it, and she went off. Oh my gosh.
What a mess.
I still think she's attractive, but that doesn't make any difference.
Yeah. But then again, Nick, we grew up liking a lot of crazy girls, so.
I still like crazy girls.
I try to avoid crazy.
I try to avoid crazy, just not my women. Not that I purposely go for crazy girls. That's just who I'm attracted to. The crazier, the more attracted I am to them. But then obviously that's the thing, because then they become very crazy later on, and I'm like, I made a mistake.
Yeah, have you seen the Dating Matrix video on YouTube?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Like the hotter they are, the crazier
hot.
they are.
Yeah. I love that part, man.
It's so
he's
true.
He's like, well, I found one that was crazy and hot. He's like, no, that's a dude.
Yeah, no, he said not crazy. Somebody that's so hot, but she's not crazy.
Yeah, not
at all.
crazy. Like, no, that's a dude.
That's good. Anything you're looking forward to, Nick?
No. And the funny thing is should looked at the movies, because I just walked by the AMC when I was walking into the Apple store. And then when I saw him, there was Elvis, but I don't know if I'm crazy about that one. What else is out right now?
The Black Phone, I saw that. That was fun.
That was that horror movie?
Yeah.
I did see the poster for that one out there. Was that good? Someone else said they saw that.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I don't know. Maybe you'll like it. I know you'll like it. I'm just like, maybe you should just wait till it comes out in streaming, because I know you don't love theaters.
I don't like theaters.
Unless it's like a movie you have to see, which, I mean, it's been a while since like a movie that's like so perfect for you. I think the last movie we saw was Meg. No, but you saw something else with Ty, I think.
I did see
you saw
something
Wrath of Man.
Yes, that was good, but I had to see Meg in theater. You know this. I had to see Meg in theater. I like sharks.
I actually
like
enjoyed
sharks.
it. Maybe that was just because I watched it with you.
Yeah,
You were
because
having
I
fun.
love it. I love sharks. I love sharks, and I love megalodons, because those are some beast sharks right there. Oh my! I just like sharks fascinate me and terrify the out of me at the same time. Like, I'm so scared, and I can always picture myself like literally the worst way almost to die, other than like maybe burning and drowning, would be to get eaten by a shark, or not even eaten by a shark, just be in the water and a shark pops up and I'm like, no! That would be the most terrifying. Even if it didn't bite me, even if it just like looked at me and swam away, I'd rather just kill me right there and then, because I know it's going to be stalking me. It's going to come back and me up. I'm going to get almost to shore, then it's going to bite my leg right off. Oh. But at the same time, they're amazing. They are such powerful predators. And just think about like a great white, but like 10 times bigger. Big megalodon, eat a freaking.
Oh, now I want to watch Piranha. Dude, we need to watch it and review it. It's so good.
Did they make a Meg 2?
No.
No. Dude, you can make that movie really crappy and I'd still love it. No, you can't. It just can't be crappy quality. It can't be a B movie.
No, they just need to make a Meg 2, but it needs to be rated R, because I want to see some more people get like, eaten and bitten in half.
Oh yeah,
because,
wasn't this one PG-13?
Yeah, it's just like, it just swallowed him whole. I was like, I was hoping to see a few people in his teeth or something.
I don't know, man. It's pretty big. That's what it would do.
Or turn like the water to like red. I don't know.
I get it.
All right, everybody. Peace.